Well, as you can tell, we've done some changes here in the studio, and we sort of brought in the outdoors and don't miss the mosquitoes much. Let's see. Things I have learned: you don't just throw a green screen together, but it throws itself right back at you. Let's see. Green camouflage hats, taboo. You can't use them, because every time you turn your head sideways, the green goes into the screen and it looks like somebody shot a bullet through your head. So we're going to try to see if we can get something put together this afternoon, and when we do, we're going to try to see if we can just simply get it out and see what y'all think of it. So what we're going to put together today is a little video on some bloopers, or as we call them, aw shucks and oh no. Because when you get there and you set up a camera and you set up your bait and everything, and you go to sleep that night, it's about like Christmas. Oh, you're laying back there telling yourself, well, I'm getting some good video. Yeah, I know I'm getting some good video, because I know the animal's there, I know the right bait is there, camera set up right, and then when you go down there, you get the memory stick, you plug it in. Ah, shucks. I didn't know that was there. And oh no, who moved that? So let's start out with one that actually it was set up real nice. You can tell it was set up our normal way. We had the bait suspended, we had the sticks holding up the bait, and we knew the animal was around there, and we also didn't know one thing: spotted showers. And here come the so-called spotted showers. As you can tell, that camera took a beating. It hailed, it had hard wind, it had hard rain. It had everything a little camera like that didn't need to see was there. And as you can tell, when it was all over with, we ended up with a blur spot. Now, a blurry spot is one that is where the camera went through a thermal change and it just left moisture inside the camera lens. There's nothing you can do about it. You've just got to let it dry out. Which, as you can tell right here, what we ended up with was a raccoon and a blur. So we just simply had to get that and just wait it out. Just let the camera sit there and dry out. Now, next thing we're going to show here is a raccoon that came in that night, and as you can tell, there's still blur. Now, the blur wasn't really so bad because it kind of highlighted the animal's head, but another main problem, shucks, is that he never turned around for about 30 minutes. He stood there and chewed on that bait and never showed his face. And then, after he did all that, as we can see right over here, he just simply took his little self, never looked at the camera. He just kind of looked far away. And once he got that done, he just dropped off and went home. So, that's one of the many things you've got to put up with, is weather. Now, the next couple of videos we're going to show, they involve camouflage. Now, when I first started, I didn't bother camouflaging anything. You would see an animal come in, happy-go-lucky, could care less, just eating, having a good time, and then all of a sudden, bang, you'd get that cobra stare. And starting right there at that minute, they wouldn't trust you from then on. Now here's a short one here where I got a little doe coming in, And just like we said before, she's coming in, and right now, bang, she gives us that cobra stare. She tries to check it from every movement, every dag blasted height she can get her head. And of course the camera, it don't move, it just sits there. But she knows it wasn't there. So she just kind of eases around and eases right back out of the scene. Now this we saw several times. And we had to learn to camouflage. So when you camouflage your camera, you don't just cover it with limbs or stuff. You have to cover it with whatever is around that area. Now, when you cover it around that area, you got to watch out exactly what's growing in that area. Because right here, you see, we've got a nice little snow scene, and it works out pretty good. It hadn't snowed but about 1.5 inches. The ground's covered good. You see the corn and everything in it. Now, everything looks fine. Now, the next picture, you notice up there in that upper right-hand corner, see a little green right there. Well, it's about 4 inches, I guess, down below on the picture. But it's just a blur. It shouldn't cause any problem at all, should it? But then, nighttime comes. And here's what we have. Let me get over here so you can see a little bit better. Here, we're going to have 200-watt light bulb. And it shines down over there, and it just messes up about 25 pictures. So, that blew that one up. Now, on this next one we had, I can't say it was what I did was wrong. Because here it is, everything is set up right. We got a nice angle, got a good area of coverage and everything. And if you look real close, way back there in the background, there I go. And at the rate I'm going, I guess it must have been lunchtime. And so I'm out of the way. The frame and everything looks perfect. But if you look real quick, you're going to see a little bushy-tailed squirrel playing around over in there. And just about time he stops playing, look right up in the center of the picture. Right there at the very top. There's another one of those blurs. Now, it don't look bad at all the way it's setting. But all of a sudden, nighttime falls and the infrared kicks in. And how about that? 500-watt infrared bulb. I mean, you can hardly see the deer moving back over in here. But these are just things that you have to put up with. I know that things that we have done before just simply don't work out that good. Because next little video we're going to be going through is one that, well, it involves a little one-eyed raccoon. And, well, the reason the Lord gave us 2 eyes is that we can control our depth perception. Well, with one eye, that little fella couldn't really see the bait. He knew it was swinging, but he couldn't figure out to and from. So, here he is right here. What he has to do is literally take the one good eye and line it up to where it hits him in the face. So he has to just simply let it smack him a few times, and when it stops, he was able to eat. I guess he probably gnawed on it for about 20 minutes, something like that, and then he moved on. So those are just some things that we ran into. I've often wished I could have brought the little raccoon home and gave him a good meal, but we all know that wouldn't work either. But I hope you've enjoyed this little short video. What we made it for was just to show the new studio and how everything else is done. And actually, we don't have to feed that deer right there. It hangs around here. I think evidently it feeds the mosquitoes because I haven't noticed any of them biting me. So, hope you enjoyed it, and y'all just take care. And as we get more and more used to this studio, we'll try to give you some better ones.